I upgraded my poxy little home golf simulator to a much more professional one. Spent a fortune doing it, but along the way I learnt a few things about which components are definitely worth the upgrade, and there's one or two that you probably didn't consider, but more about those later on. My first golf simulator projector was a cheap, low lumens 1080p standard throw projector, and I thought it was amazing. I'd just come from hitting my ball into a net to all of a sudden having a projected image onto my impact screen, and I thought it was fantastic. I did get some shadows, it was a washed out image, but it did a job, and like I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But when I eventually upgraded to a better projector, it was a BenQ 1080p still projector, but it had more lumens, better colors, obviously it was newer. My experience in my home golf simulator changed for the better. It was fantastic. But then when I built this simulator studio, I actually upgraded to a 4K projector with even more lumens and even more features, and honestly, even though 4K is very much a luxury when it comes to your home golf simulator, once I loaded up GS Pro and I could see the graphical detail in all of these world famous courses, I was literally blown away. So now I've got an amazingly immersive golf simulator experience with a short throw projector so it doesn't cast any shadows. I've got the vividness of the colors popping through every time I load up the golf simulator. And yes, the first thing that you are definitely going to want to consider upgrading is your projector. So it's no good having a 4K projector if you can't utilize its 4K features. Now, in order to run a fully immersive 4K golf simulator studio, you need to get a graphics card that is capable of meeting the demands of the golf simulator software and running it in 4K resolution. Now, my first graphics card was a budget 1650 Super graphics card, and it was great at running 1080p graphics on the high setting in GS Pro. So it wasn't the very high, it wasn't the ultra, it was just the high setting, but I could get some great HD quality golf simulator courses and images using that graphics card. Now, when I built this setup, I wanted to upgrade to 4K, obviously, so I went and bought an NVIDIA 4070 graphics card. This was around about the most budget graphics card I could get that was capable of running 4K. However, when I was loading up the golf courses on GS Pro, occasionally I would get GS Pro crashing on me when it was loading up the course, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Anyway, it turns out that I didn't have enough RAM or memory in my computer. So what I then had to do, I had to upgrade that as well. I was currently running just 8 gigabytes of RAM inside my desktop PC, and I found out, thanks to the helpful community on GS Pro, that the reason why it was crashing is because I needed at least 16 gigabytes of RAM to run these newer courses seamlessly. A little tip for you here, you can follow what I did. Rather than getting 16 gigabytes of RAM, I spent like an extra 20 quid and I upgraded to 32 gigabytes of RAM. So now that's probably overkill. However, I've now future-proofed myself from these ever graphically demanding golf courses on the likes of GS Pro. So yeah, the second thing that is definitely worth upgrading in your home golf simulator is your graphics card and also your RAM. If you're looking to upgrade something in your home golf simulator setup, then definitely check out my downloadable ebook that's got discounted links to pretty much every golf simulator component that you can think of. The link to that is in the description below, and if you have already upgraded something in your golf simulator setup, then pop it in the comments below because I'd love to hear what you've done and how you've done it. Now, this next upgrade is going to improve your golf simulator experience. What a shot, by the way. more than anything else, okay? When I first got my golf simulator set up, the best software on the market for playing virtual courses was the Golf Club 2019. And yes, it was fantastic. And for 12 months, I absolutely loved it. It did take me quite a long time to convince myself to buy it though, because it was $900, right? Anyway, after a while of me owning the Golf Club 2019, out came another software called GS Pro. And at first, I didn't like it. And I don't know what the reason for that was. I think it was because I'd come from the Golf Club 2019 where I really liked the graphics. They were very video gamey, but I used to really like that. And I'd come to GS Pro and it wasn't all that. However, I found myself loading up GS Pro over the Golf Club 2019 every single time I switched on my golf simulator. Over the last few years, GS Pro has evolved to become, without doubt, the best golf simulator software on the market for a number of reasons. For its graphics, for its realistic gameplay, for its choices of courses that are available for you to play, world famous courses. But not only that, it's got an amazingly helpful community. It is by far the best value for money golf simulator software. For $250 a year, you get access to courses that are getting improved all of the time. You get access to game improvement features that are being improved all of the time. It's just so good. And like I say, the best value for money by far. But not only that, if you want a competitive element to playing indoor golf, with GS Pro, you can join the Simulator Golf Tour, which basically allows you to play whatever course the professionals are playing that week on the PGA Tour, and you can compete against hundreds of other golfers from all around the world on the tour. You get world rankings, you get leaderboards, all sorts of stuff, right? So that is just one more reason why, if you want to upgrade something in your golf simulator, you have to definitely consider going for GS Pro. Now, it's no good owning a home golf simulator if you can't use it because you're injured. And in my opinion, it's no good owning a home golf simulator if it's not going to help you get better at real life outdoor golf. And one component that's going to help you do that is the hitting mat. Now, my first hitting mat was a very old, thin, dusty, second-hand hitting mat that I got from a local golf course. As good as it was for getting me hitting hundreds of balls a day inside my simulator, what I found was it wasn't massively improving my ball striking. And the reason for that was because it was so thin and firm. Every time I would hit a fat shot, that shot wasn't getting punished on the simulator. The ball still carried as far as what I was expecting it to. And it wasn't until I upgraded to this T-Turf hitting mat when I actually started to feel and see some benefits. So this hitting mat is very good at punishing any sort of shots that you might hit fat, because it completely decreases your club speed and the ball isn't going to travel as far as what you would usually expect it to with a clean strike. Now, on top of that, I've been using this hitting mat now for 3 years, and because it's much thicker, it's got a thicker pile, and it's much more true to real life turf, real life grass, I feel like I can strike the golf ball properly with a descending blow and take a divot like I would on the real course. And I've not had any sort of wrist or elbow or shoulder pain, like I say, for 3 years now using this mat. So if getting better at golf is important to you, then the next thing that you need to upgrade is definitely your hitting mat. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to consider upgrading is what pretty much any golfer is going to consider probably first. It's the launch monitor. There's so many choices out there, from budget range like the original SkyTrack, Square Golf, Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, all the way through to your Trackmans and GC quads. Now, I've been fortunate enough over the last 5 years to test out pretty much every device on the market, right? Now, my first ever launch monitor was the original SkyTrack, and I have to say, for 4 years, it has been absolutely amazing, right? You can pick these up, like I say, for 900 quid now, cheap as chips. And if you are on a tight budget, I would definitely recommend the original SkyTrack. However, because I'd built a brand new golf simulator studio, I kind of felt a bit out of place having a budget launch monitor in a setup that looks as nice as this one does. So I've been looking to upgrade for quite a while, and if you've been watching my channel for the last couple of years or however long you've been watching it for, you will know that it took me quite a long time to decide which launch monitor to upgrade to. Now, I eventually chose the Foresight GC3, and I can hand on heart say that this launch monitor is absolutely fantastic. It has already helped me shave 1.5 shots off my handicap, and I've only had it for 3 months. Now, when I first got my SkyTrack, as anybody would be, I was hitting like 200-300 golf balls a day. And over the past 5 years, the novelty kind of wears off of owning a golf simulator. So yeah, you'll have a few shots here and there. But when I got my GC3, I was literally back to hitting 200-300 shots a day. The accuracy is unquestionable. The reliability is amazing. Like, all launch monitors have their own little quirks. Like SkyTrack has a little shot delay. Square Golf, very budget. Is it the most accurate? We're not too sure. MLM2 Pro, Mevo Plus, they can only be used in rooms that are longer than 6 meters in length or whatever, okay? The Foresight GC3 just has everything, okay? In terms of the data, it gives you everything that you need for an 8 handicap golfer like I am. I'm not interested in all of the data points that you might get with the Mevo Plus or the GC Quad or whatever. This device gives me exactly what I need for me, and that's very important when you're looking at upgrading your launch monitor. You really need to understand and know what you're after from your device in order to determine how much you're going to spend on it. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Ultimately, you're going to want to consider upgrading your launch monitor, whether you've got an expensive one already or whether you've got a budget one. But if you've got a budget device, then definitely consider upgrading to something that's a little bit more reliable, something that's a bit more accurate, and the experience that you're going to get from that upgrade is amazing. Right, at the start of the video, I promised you a couple of upgrades that you probably wouldn't expect. Now, the first one that I'm going to talk to you about has to be the wall tiles and ceiling tiles that I've got in here. Now, not just the ones that I've got in here, but let me tell you a little story. So when I was building out this indoor golf studio, the last thing that I installed were these foam tiles. And before that, it was just the plywood board. And yes, the golf simulator was starting to take shape and it looked really, really nice. But honestly, as soon as these wall and ceiling tiles went on, it completely finished the golf simulator, and it turned it into something that just looks so professional. I'm fully aware that not everybody is going to have a wall-to-wall style golf simulator build. You might just have an enclosure. And if you do, that's absolutely fine. They look amazing. But if you're going to upgrade something in your golf simulator setup and it is a wall-to-wall setup, I would heavily advise in getting some high quality wall and ceiling tiles just to make your golf simulator studio look that extra level up, that little bit more professional. And finally, the last little unexpected upgrade is very small, right? It cost me 15 quid, okay? Now, I've recently had a few comments, a few questions about my shallow putting cups, okay, that you can see over there in the corners. But let me let you into a little secret. These putting cups, they're not putting cups, all right? These are called ghost holes, right? Now, I looked into getting some shallow cups in my golf simulator, and in all honesty, I couldn't be bothered cutting it out, drilling any holes, anything like that. And I actually wanted the flexibility to be able to move the hole wherever I wanted to. So did a bit of research and I found these ghost holes. And honestly, when you stick them down, they just look fantastic. They look exactly like a hole. Now, if I wanted to practice my putting from the center of the room, like if I'm playing on the simulator golf tour or whatever, and I want to aim towards something, I can just pick it up and put it down. If I just want to do a little bit of putting practice, put them anywhere you want inside the simulator. I actually got 4 in a pack, so yeah, I just have them at the moment in different corners. I even put them on my carpet in the other side of my office as well. So if I wanted to practice on like a different speed green or something, I can put them over there. So yeah, these little ghost holes have been an excellent upgrade to my home golf simulator. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are considering upgrading something in your home golf simulator, then definitely check out the link to my downloadable ebook for those discounted links. Maybe you're just starting out on your home golf simulator journey, and if you are, check out my online course, which is designed for beginners who are looking to build their very own home golf simulator. Now, over the last 5 years, I have wasted quite a lot of money actually on upgrades that weren't actually that important. So to find out what they were, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and hopefully I will see you over there in a moment.